Hey there, viewers! Has today's fast-paced culture got you feeling too wound up? It's pretty easy to get stressed out given everything that's thrown at us these days. Everything from work life to social media can contribute to our mental breakdown. Let's talk today about signs you're way too stressed out. Are you gaining weight? Is your digestive system suffering? Are you feeling tooth pain? We're talking all that and more. There's pain in your teeth. I know this sounds like a weird one to start with, but stress can cause a lot of pain in your mouth, particularly your jaw area. This is normally brought on by something called bruxism, a fancy word for teeth grinding. People who are under intense stress often grind their teeth as a way to cope. A lot of the time, you don't even realize you're doing it. If you're doing it nonstop, it's going to lead to extreme pain in your mouth. This is especially common if you're grinding your teeth while you sleep. It's pretty scary that while you're sleeping, you can lose complete control of your mouth. If you're waking up feeling that extreme pressure in your mouth, you might be under a lot of stress. You're having problems digesting your food. People with a lot on their mind have problems eating in general. If you do manage to eat and your food has trouble going down, chances are you're under extreme stress. When you're feeling tense, the communication between your brain and your stomach becomes tense as well. High levels of stress can bring on a heap of digestive problems, including diarrhea, cramps, constipation, and heartburn. Your stress will cause your body to produce more acids, causing heartburn. The same stress will slow down the movement of food through your stomach, causing a whole heap of reactions. You may find yourself rushing to the bathroom or not going to the bathroom at all. If your digestive problems last longer than a week, make sure you talk to a doctor. Your muscles are sore. If your stress is accompanied by grueling pain in your muscles, it's reached a whole new level. High stress causes excruciating muscle cramps. This is due to something called cortisol, which you would know better as the stress hormone. When your body is constantly in fight or flight mode, it begins overproducing cortisol. The extra cortisol will cause soreness around your body, particularly in your neck and back. You don't have to work physical labor to experience these pains. It's like they come out of nowhere. You could be having a lazy day on the couch and suddenly be hit with them. Physical therapy, including massages, can help, but ultimately you need to find ways to reduce the amount of stress in your life. This can be through meditating, practicing breathing, or going for regular walks. Your sleep cycle is off. Anyone who goes through periods of stress will know that whatever your worries are, they'll eventually keep you up at night. Stress causes you to lose sleep. Sometimes you're tossing and turning in bed until the early hours of the morning. This lack of sleep only makes your mental health worse. Due to our fast-paced lifestyles, night is the only time we have to think. If there's something that's weighing on your brain, you won't be able to shut your eyes. As a result, your mornings will be miserable. Sometimes you won't even want to get out of bed. If your messy sleep cycle has left you without the will to do anything, your stress has likely turned into a case of depression. This is where you need to talk to a professional. You're having wild dreams. This is one of the scarier parts of stress. Even if you do manage to get to sleep, it can follow you into your dreams. If you're constantly worried about something, chances are it will cross into your subconscious. As a result, you end up having some wild dreams. You can usually figure out who the healthy sleepers are by whether or not they remember their dreams. If you don't remember your dream, it means your brain is responding to less stimuli. You are a little more relaxed when you go to sleep. As for people who do remember their dreams, studies have shown there is more activity happening in the brain during sleep. This causes your dreams to be vivid and sometimes very frightening. If you're waking up after a nightmare, chances are your brain is trying to work through things you've been putting off. You're drinking too much water. A person who is stressed will find themselves in constant need of something to drink. When you find yourself needing a sip of water more than usual, your body is telling you it's dehydrated. Remember cortisol from a few minutes ago? Well, when cortisol production becomes excessive, the hormones that control your fluids start to drop. This leads to your body losing electrolytes and becoming dehydrated. This is why so many overworked people grow fatigued. Their job stresses them out to the point where they need to quench their thirst. If you're noticing more situations like these in the workplace, you may want to sit down once in a while and take a breather. Drinking water nonstop may help you in the moment, but it's not going to cure your stress. You're having trouble making decisions. You can argue that life is all about making decisions. We make multiple decisions every day without even realizing it. Too much stress clouds our judgment to the point where we have trouble deciding what to do. If we finally do come to a decision, it's often one we regret. And I'm not talking about big decisions, like do I switch occupations or not? These decisions can be tiny ones that we don't think twice about. The problem is that sometimes the smallest decisions have the greatest impact. Say, for example, your stress has kept you in bed. Instead of waking up around your usual hour, you decide to sleep for another hour. Forgetting that you had work, you end up being a couple hours late. This puts your job in jeopardy. When you're stressed, your brain tends to block out any negative outcomes. You're really only occupied by positive outcomes. Objectivity goes out the window as you make a decision that ends up screwing you over. You don't think about the pluses and minuses of your choice. Never-ending headaches. If you've experienced stress in your life, you'd know that headaches are a pretty common symptom. Sometimes the pain is mild, other times your head feels like it's about to explode. It all depends on how severe the stress is. Headaches can happen from anything. Maybe you're hungover, maybe you're hungry, maybe you're overwhelmed by loud noises. But stress headaches are a different kind of monster. This type of discomfort is a lot more serious than you would believe. A persistent headache or migraine that's accompanied by muscle aches might be a sign that your body is ready to break down, and that the stress is too much to bear. This can send you on a downward spiral, which will only worsen the stress you're feeling. If you want to avoid this maximum overload, you have no choice but to try and unwind any way you can. This can be a problem, as most of us don't have the luxury to just turn off and walk away from everything for a few days. If you have a family or full-time job, you'd know how difficult it is to find that precious alone time a person requires to de-stress. Your best option would be to set aside time to exercise and rest. Maybe have a few rounds of meditation when you have a free hour. This will help you organize your thoughts. You're snapping at the drop of a hat. If you don't find the time to unwind, the pressure from the stress will make you super irritable. You may have already had your friends comment about your change in attitude. This is pretty common among people who are stressed out. They snap over the smallest little thing. The stress that's been weighing on them for the last little while has finally given, causing mood swings. This is where stress begins to affect not just your health, but your personal life as well. If your negative attitude and irritation continue, many of your friends and family members won't want to be around you. There's actually more science to this than you'd expect. When a person's brain is too overwhelmed, their brain goes into survival mode. This triggers the fight or flight response. As a result, any bit of pressure the brain experiences will be met with hostility. We may not even be angry at the person. We just don't like the strain they're putting on our brains at that very second. So if you find yourself getting unreasonably mad for relatively minor things, your brain may be telling you to wind down. Your weight is fluctuating. When we put on a few pounds, stress usually isn't the first thing that comes to mind. Most of us associate weight gain with simply eating too much, but it's sometimes the reasons we're eating too much that we need to confront. When we get stressed out, we find something that comforts us. Many of us find that comfort in food. Our favorite snacks provide us with that dopamine hit we desperately need at that moment. Around 2/3 of people eat while under stress. The stress hormone that controls your appetite takes longer to get out of your system. This leaves you feeling hungry for a longer period of time, causing you to overeat. Over time, you're going to notice a difference when you step on the scale. At the same time, stress can also make you skip out on meals. If your mind is overoccupied by a certain thought, you may not think about eating as a whole. Some people get so stressed, they can lose several pounds in a week. This is something you need to worry about, as you're not supplying your body the proper nutrients it needs to function. This will make your stress worse. Your mental health is so important, yet it's often overlooked. Unfortunately, there's more you can experience than stress. Let's keep the mental health conversation going with a couple more videos, shall we? Here's what you need to know. Check out 5 signs of depression that should never be ignored. Or how about 7 warning signs you're emotionally and mentally exhausted? Go ahead, click one. Or better yet, watch both and learn more about how the human brain works. Have you been experiencing any of these stress symptoms? Let us know in the comments below.